Hair good?
I
Must.
guess. Want to rock with it, no matter if it look good or not. But
Mhm.
hey everybody, welcome back to our social media platforms. You're probably watching on Uplift Past Crossroads, my YouTube channel, or my podcast. You know the after video of it, or you're watching from Justin's YouTube channel, Chaplain's Log. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. We got a treat for you guys today. So one of my goals on my social media pages, I've been dying to do is talk about all the all the quotes that people be saying that makes no sense. Like I call it false quotes. So like one of the quotes that I saw was from Taraji B. Henson. Yeah, I'm gonna just talk about it, right? So I have a playlist on my YouTube channel titled False Quotes. I'll let you guys look at that in a minute. But
And I
let's
like I like the idea of a playlist for that too, because like they're like people are so hungry to eat up. Like we're spiritually hungry. We're so hungry to eat up any little bit of wisdom or like life. Like sometimes we'll believe anything. So we definitely have to like look out for false teachings or false quotes like that.
right. Like everybody be that's the crazy thing, man. Like with CNN, like sport, even with sports, yeah, sports like ESPN, but like on CNN and Fox News, like news outlets, anything. Like we live in a opinionated society.
Hmm.
So everything's run off opinions and what people say.
Right.
So like, even it's pathetic with the news. Like with the news, I just want to hear what's going on. That's all I want. Just give me what's going on. Give me that information. That's how it used to be in the olden days. But now, like people want to give their opinion instead of reporting the actual news that's needs to be reported. Same thing with sports. Like it's kind of hypocritical. I actually like it with sports though. Like I want to hear what Shaq and Charles Barkley have to say, or like Kenny Smith, like basketball players, what football players, like who actually play. I want to hear what they have to say about the game because
Yeah.
they know literally what they're talking about. But
Well,
like somebody,
yeah, sports you
yeah,
got to speculate what's going on as well. So you kind of have to add in opinions. But yeah, you're right. Like news is more than just presenting the news. I feel like big opinions cause big arguments. So that's
mhm,
news is a business. The more opinionated, the more response they can get, and the more business they drum in.
right. So we're about to talk about what this one celebrity said. So
Mm.
uh, she said this on March 1st, 2023. So it was a good amount, a good long way ago. And I'm just now seeing this in November. What's today's date? November.
Second, 21st.
Dang, you said November 2nd. Yeah, November 21st. All right, so I'm just now seeing this really. So yeah, Taraji B. Henson during an interview, she was on an interview with Mary J. Blige and with this rapper Young Miami. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But she just joked and said that all American men have been ran through. Like that was her answer when Young Miami and Mary J. Blige asked her like, why are you single, right? And so yeah, let me show you what the visual I saw. I want you guys to see it like I saw it. So I'm on Facebook just scrolling. You know how you just scroll and you just see a news feed sometimes or something like that. So yeah, I ran through this news feed and I saw it like three different times, and I was just like, you know what? I saw it the first time. I read it a little bit, like just saw this part and read that, and I was like, okay, all right. And then I saw it a second time, but then time went by. I was thinking about it. I was like, that was messed up what she said. So
Yeah.
yeah. So let me say exactly what she said in the interview. I want everybody to I want to speak straight facts. I don't want to say anything,
Yeah.
thoughts or anything. So on Mary J's Blige talk show, though it's called The Wind Down. So she was with this rapper, her name's Young Miami, and Taraji B. Henson. She was with both of them too, just interviewing them on her platform, on her talk show. And Young Miami asked Taraji B. Henson if she liked someone or had a guy she simply has lunch with. Or yeah, she asked her that. And so Taraji B. Henson joked and said, "Where is he?" before suggesting that the love of her life may not be in America. Okay, that's cool. But then she said, "I keep saying, where is he? I keep saying that because all the men have been ran through in America." Right? That's what she's saying. And so it's a sentiment that the city girls rappers agreed as she replied, that's true. So that's what Young Miami said, yeah, that's true. And then Mary J. Blige even chimed in and said, straight up and down, there's a shortage. What? And so then Young Miami asked the singer if she was testing out the dating pool. So now Young Miami's asking Mary J. Blige. So that's how the interview went. So I'll give them. I'll be on their side a little bit, just in the sense that everything was pretty quick. It was a quick
Yeah.
little. That wasn't really the topic. Like when I saw the video, like it was kind of like sped through. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it was something they quick. You know, it's like asking how you doing. Like how's your day? So they weren't really answering the question and giving out all their
Well, sometimes you're not really thinking about it
yeah.
super hard for a quick
And,
question like that.
yeah, and I know for sure Taraji P. Henson wasn't. Like I'll give her that. She was not thinking what she was saying, like at all. Like she just said something real quick, joking. And same thing with even Mary J. Blige. Like uh after all that, she was just talking about how she's dating herself and she loves being with herself, and that's just too much information. That's literally what she said. But like, oh, that's fine. All right, so we're gonna focus on what Taraji B. Henson said. Like, and that's just the whole point of the video. Like, some people just say some crazy stuff sometimes, and everybody runs with it. Like, this is my idol. Like, I believe everything that they do and everything like that. But sometimes, sometimes you just gotta. Sometimes it's okay to disagree, right? So, like, here goes the case. So, yeah, Taraji B. Henson, the actress, says she's done with American men, claiming they've all been ran through, right? So, just with that news story, you see how the news just run with stuff sometimes. Like that was the headline of the whole entire thing, and that's why you gotta be careful with what you say. And I'm not just talking about her on this interview talking. I'm talking about with your life,
Mhm.
because the words that you say will be the words that you have to eat. This is the Bible, right? So many scripture verses I could pull out right now. Just saying, like, just with Taraji B. Henson's thought process of saying, she's done with American men because they all been ran through. If that's your thought process with how life is in America, that's gonna be your reality. So one
Mm.
of the proverbs that my dad has always thrown at me since I was a kid is Proverbs 23:7. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Proverbs, I want to see it. I'm just trying to pull it up so you guys can see it. But I already got it. Proverbs 23:7 says, "For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Right. So a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Right. So that's just saying, what you think reality. And we ain't
Mm.
even talking about the words that you say yet, but like your thoughts dictate your life. It's literally it's literally showing the way, paving the way what's gonna happen for you, right? So you gotta be careful what you allow into your mind. That's
What
why.
they call it like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like
Mm,
if you look for negativity, you're going to find negativity.
right, negative life, negative thoughts, negative life, positive thoughts, positive life. Like you hear all this stuff all the time, but it doesn't really resonate until I don't know, until you really like look deeper in, right? So like before I even talk about all that, man, before I even say all that, with her saying that all American men have been ran through, so she's done with them, like it really offended me. I don't know how it made you feel, Justin, because I know you ain't been ran through, but it offended me. You know what I mean? Because like,
I, yeah, I yeah, I guess like it offended me a little bit too, just because I do hear like there are just a lot of quotes out there against men nowadays as well. Like I don't want to like play the victim though. But
mhm,
yeah, it definitely, and I think we talked about, we'll go into this a little bit. It does kind of just generalize American men a little bit. Like,
yeah,
oh, like that's your identity. Like I'm not, like my wife is Chinese. I'm not going to be like, oh, that's just what Chinese women do. Like, oh, that's like, yeah, if a man says that about a woman, like obviously that's terrible. So
right,
like I wouldn't want the reverse either.
yeah, yeah,
I,
man. Like, oh, go
I
ahead.
will say, yeah, I will say I feel like that's instead of being offended, I want this to be a call to step up as well. Like I guess I'm gonna play a little bit devil's advocate. Like a part of me wants to, like, if this is her thought process, it does make me think, well, does this mean like men in general in the US are not giving a good reason for Taraji or other women to like look up to men as well? So that almost makes me want to step up and like prove myself to be like a good man for them or a godly man, whatever that entails. So like I feel like yeah, we can be offended a little bit, but yeah, we could also turn this on its head and like use this as an opportunity to step up.
Yeah, but I'm already proving it. You're already proving it. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, when TARAJI Henson said, this is literally her words. Let me show the news article again. I want everybody to get this visual like I see it, right? So
Mm.
when she said she's done with American men claiming they all been ran through, like one comedian tore this up when he saw this. He tore this up. He was
Which,
like,
which comedian?
I don't know. He's some like social media guy. I could pull him up right now if I wanted, but like he's not famous. Like, well, he is, but not really. Like, I don't know his name. Like, I don't think you would either. Like, but he ain't Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart, anything like that. But
Okay.
when he saw that, he made a little spin on it. He was like, "Man, you tell me that fat dude in the drive-through at McDonald's with purple hair, right? That looked like looked like the ugliest thing ever created. Like you're telling me he been ran through like he was just throwing different people saying like you telling me that nerd that goes plays Yu-Gi-Oh cards everywhere he goes and be like it's time to duel in a fight. He's about to get in a real fight, right? And he says it's time to duel, throw his Yu-Gi-Oh card out and then get punched in the face. You tell me he been ran through like he was just throwing people like that. He didn't use that one, but yeah, that was a good one. So you telling me every man? She said every American man. Like that's a general statement. You gotta be careful with general statements. So like that's
Mhm.
another way of looking at this, right?
Yeah.
So like generalizing, like one thing I was gonna say is, humans like to generalize.
Mm.
They always done it, right? They say
Well,
black
yeah,
people.
brains it helps them organize stuff. Yeah. So they'll
Yeah,
people.
and it's really bad, like on so many levels. So humans like to generalize, right? I'll talk about that later. But it makes things easier for us to remember and puts everything into a nice, neat little box, right?
Mm.
But unfortunately, the world is complex, and
Yeah.
neat little boxes rarely is ever the case, right? So generalization actually puts people and events in the boxes. That is why we should avoid it, because generalizations, man, it really makes you. It, it just depends. I'm gonna keep on saying. Let me keep on going, right? Because so many directions. Let me just focus.
Mhm.
So making generalizations imply that people are incapable of being anything different. That
Mm.
is fundamentally untrue, right? The world is not as black and white as we want it to be. So by deleting, distorting, and generalizing, we inhabit our perceptions and interpretations of reality. That goes back to Proverbs 23:7. So whatever a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you're going to make a general statement saying, all men are dogs, all men are trash, all American men have all been ran through, that's going to be what's going to come back to you. Like you get
Yeah.
what you put out in the world. You get what you expect. You get what you give. You get what you think,
Yeah.
right? And so God can only take you as far as your faith allows him to. So like if you have faith in that thing, that little negativity thing, that's going to be your reality. Like
Mm.
we talked about this before. Like every single day. We talked about this when I did my sermon on Romans 8 verse 1, right? See, this is so powerful with the Bible. Like this is why you need to know it. The Bible's so powerful, man. Like every single day in Deuteronomy 18, verse 30, 29, 28, around there, it says that God said, I place before you life and death. Therefore, I hope that you choose life, right? Each and every single day, he said, I place before you life and death. I place before you blessings and curses. I place before you happiness or sadness. You get a choice with which one you want every single day. And it's all based on your faith. It's all based on what you think. It's all based on what you expect. So if you expect to eat horse crap all your life, you're going to eat horse crap all your life,
Yeah.
right? Like you got to believe, like faith is the evidence of things hoped for, the substance of things not seen. That's Hebrews 11:1, right? So like we got to have faith in things we don't see. So you may think that all men are dogs. Okay, I'll give you that. But that doesn't mean that they're every single one of them are. Eventually, you're gonna meet the one. I met the one, like not the man, but I met a woman that wasn't like every other woman. Like I thought every woman, and it was true a little bit. I'll give it to me. Like I thought every woman was manipulative. That's the first thing. Like one thing women struggle with, like the worst case scenario in a woman is being manipulative to get your way. That's what women struggle with. So that means they use their looks to get something, or use their looks for something, right? For profit. I don't. It could be for anything, right? The worst trait for a man to have that we got to look out for is just being too dominant, right? Being too dominant, hitting women, abusing your power, right? Just because you're stronger. That's the two things that women and men got to look out for. So like, what was I saying? So like with women, man, like it's just I was going through. I was experiencing like not good enough, basically. Like it's been so long that I've been experiencing mine for so long. I forgot what I experienced. But like basically, mine is perfect. Everybody else only had like a piece of what she had to offer. Like she has everything. And like if I would have just generalized and made a general statement, like man, all women, man, no woman is good enough. Like all the women suck. That was what I would have got. But I had faith that eventually somebody's gonna meet the mark. Somebody's gonna measure up. Somebody's gonna be the one. But like it takes some trial and error. So Taraji P. Henson's a good example of this. Like, I want to say this before I even go there. Like every single day you get a choice. You gotta choose. Are you gonna have faith or are you gonna have doubt? Right? Are you gonna belief or are you gonna have disbelief? I can keep on going, but every day you get a choice. And like if you're just gonna live in disbelief, if you're just gonna live in negativity, if you're just gonna believe in like the worst of the worst is gonna happen and that's it, like that's you condemning yourself. So you can live in Christian or you can live in a spirit, right? You can live in a place where Satan's operating in your life, having his way, or you can operate in a place where Jesus is having full reign and full control. So you can experience happiness, joy, mercy, humility, blessings, peace, rest, satisfaction. You can be experiencing all those things. Love, right? You can be experiencing all those things if you choose it, right? You have to choose it though. Or you can choose bitterness, anger, hostility, shame, guilt, worry, feeling unloved. Like you get a choice every day. And the scripture verse is Romans 8:1. Therefore there's now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. See, when you're in Christ, man, he changes the whole equation of everything. Like you got faith in Christ, man, he will meet your needs. He will give you what you need. He will give you sometimes what you want, right? Like it just depends on what he wants for you, right? And what's best for you. That's the best thing. That's the best way to say it. So like, yeah, it's just so much with that. Yeah, with Taraji P. Henson, man, like she's done with
there that you said too before you go much more with Taraji. There are two things that I want to combine that you said too. Is like your interpretation like affects how you see things, and at the same time, like we have to choose. We wake up every day with a choice. Like I told my wife, like I wake up choosing to like love her because that sets the mindset for me. It's not something I want to be on auto drive for, because like things could piss me off. I could like be in a bad mood, and like if I do that, I just let my feelings dictate my interpretation. Same thing for this choosing. Like how I choose to live my life will help me interpret the people that come across my life. If I just go through auto drive, if someone pisses me off, then like I that could fall under a prejudice, it could fall under like yeah, just like prejudice against somebody or a generalization. And I think we said this before, like that's kind of the same for like enneagrams or character evaluations or character tests, like that Briggs Meyer test with the INFJ or IPFJ. I actually don't know what they are, but like you can use that as a sword or a shield. Like a lot of times people will like use that as ammo against other people. Like, oh, that's such a, where are the numbers in the enneagram? Oh, that's such an 8 thing to do. Or, oh, I can't help it, I'm like a 2, that's just what we do. Like you wouldn't let other people get away with that, so you can't generalize other people as well. Like, oh, that's just a man thing to do, or oh man, That's exactly what a Mexican would do, or a black person would do, or something like that. Like, you don't say crap like that. Like,
Mhm.
that if you generalize like that, that's going to affect your interpretation of a person. And like, we know people are much more complex like that. Like, people deserve a chance to like show who they really are. They don't want to be generalized into a box.
Right.
Like, I will say, like, knowing someone's enneagram, knowing someone's culture or country does help us understand where they're from. Like, my wife, as I said before, I'm American, my wife is Chinese. We still have culture clashes sometimes, and that has helped. Like, knowing where they came from helps us understand that. Like, for I guess an example, like for Americans, like, I'm still close to my family. Sean and I have talked about this. Like, I'm still close to. I see them very regularly, but we're also very independent. Like, I once I move away, my dad, he watches out for me, but he's even said like he doesn't want to be up in my space, which I appreciate. That's an American thing. For Chinese, like, my wife will like talk to her parents every day, like without fail. Like, during our 1 year anniversary, when I took her out to dinner, her dad called her twice and she talked to him twice. But like that's just a very cultural thing.
Mhm.
Like, it's but I'm not going to like generalize like, oh, she's just like a Chinese woman. I'll just be like, oh, well, that's like how she grew up. So don't get me wrong, like, knowing where someone's from does help you understand them, but it should not put them in a box. Like, I'm not going to be like, I don't know, like, Sean's my one of my best friends, and like, he's like, there's so much going on. Like, he wants to be, I don't know, I can't like put him in a box of like, oh, he wants to be a pastor. He's just like, these are the things that pastors do or something like that. No, he has like dreams to like do animation. He has like dreams to become a pastor. He has like dreams to marry the woman of his life. There's just like a lot. I can't generalize that stuff. And like, the people watching this too, like, you don't like see one of your friends and think, oh, that's just like a typical American man. No, this is like Josh or Emily or Katie or David or like whoever your friend is. Like, we, sorry, I'm going on a rant now, I think. But it's just like, yeah, like, we have to be careful of like our interpretations of people and what we choose, because that's the same thing as like having prejudice against somebody. Like, you like just putting like limiting them to like what they look like or where they're from is just a prejudice, in my opinion. So we do have to be careful about that.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like black people can be so hypocritical sometimes. Like this is it right here. Like that was a generalization right there.
Mm.
But that like people mad when somebody else does something. It's a rap song. It says it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it. F them. Like like that's the lyrics. Like literally, and that's how it is. Like everybody. It's cool when you do it, right? But when I do it, it's a problem, right? So like
Mm.
just like what Taraji B Henson, like I know she even said it. I saw another interview. Like she was saying just how messed up it is in America. When she was in Africa, she felt free. She wasn't judged. There's no like pre-biases or pre-prejudices, like anything like that. When she was walking around, like she could just be herself. But in America, she got to walk on her tiptoe. So like it's the same thing. But she just did the same thing to men that some white people do to black people,
Mm.
or black people do to white people when it comes to racism. Right? It was the same thing. So
Like
like
that.
yeah, like, and that's how the cookie crumbles, guys. Like you reap what you sow. Like what you put out will come back on you 100-fold. It will be way worse. That's how God works, right? Because He's trying to tell you how what you need to work on. Everything's a reflection. It's a mirror. Like if you're judging other people for something, just like she was judging other men for something, it's a mirror. It's a reflection. Vincent even just said it. He said some people project their own stories onto others, right? So basically, when he said that, I took it like some people project their own insecurities, so their own flaws, their own problems on the other people, right? And it's really about them, right? So like when she was saying, all American men are ran through, right? That's talking about her personal experience, like
Mm.
her personal
Oh,
problem. with men. And then it's not just that, it's the men you are choosing. You put yourself in that position, right? If you choose better, right, men, because there are better men out there. You can't tell me, and that's another thing. She has not been with every single man that there is in the whole entire world, and definitely not even in America. It's too many men. You ain't even met me yet. You wouldn't have made that statement. You would have met me or Justin, right? So like all men been ran through, nigga. I slept with, I slept with.
Well,
Okay, that's too much information. But like, it's bro, like one person basically. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Like, and I'm 30. You know, how many people slept with one person? 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Like, that's right, too much information. But you guys are gonna say, like, some people slept with 30, 50 people. I know she slept up there with somebody, but again, that's assuming, right? So, like, it's a projecting thing, right? You see how I'm so offended by what she said because, like, it's not true. Like, I have not been with a lot of women. I've only been with 3. Like, like I only dated 2, right? Girlfriends. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I barely dated. I barely gave women any attention. So like, when she made a statement like all American men been ran through, no, you've been ran through. I ain't been run through, right? And then on top of that, you know, if you think all men are bad or dogs or all men been ran through, it's just who you've been associating with. Like, she's with the top echelon of men, like the cream of the crop, like the rich. Women love men that are rich. Obviously, they're gonna get all the women in the world because they're rich and got money. That's all women want. Again, manipulative. Some women, right? That's the worst quality in a woman that they can have, that they abuse, right? Just like with men being too dominant. So like, yeah. So like with the men, always, well, who was I talking about? Like, it's just so much to say with this, but like, yeah, like with her, that was a general statement about her experience and the people she chose to be with. If you don't like those people you've been choosing, choose better. There's so many other men in the world, definitely in America, right? And then on top of that, you can date somebody that's 18. Like, come on, she got it going on. I mean, she got it going on. She can get it from anybody if she wanted, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, she has options. But that's another thing. That's why I was so offended, Justin. Because like people like her, they're so, and this is a general statement as well. So it's probably not true, but I can only judge you based on your fruit. Like, because you're so rich and you're so high up, you're so boastful about yourself, you're so prideful, you're so full of yourself that you think you can only date certain people at this level, right? That are powerful and rich just like you. And so that causes you to miss out on a blessing because you're not willing to humble yourself. Right? I'm pretty sure she went to a church. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of black churches in America. Like, she could find somebody. I mean, there's a lot of mega churches with any race you can find, any race you want. Like, you can get what you want. Like, they're all out there, but you're not willing to humble yourself to see what else is out there. So when someone tries to tell you what most people are like, they're revealing much more about themselves than about others. She's literally never, you can't say maybe she's tried it out. But again, did you try out every single man? No. Like, Justin, how many women you had to talk to before you got to Yao? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I only did women.
Right, but I mean, like, even talking, like dating, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's even, and I'm talking about even elementary school counts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that doesn't really count, but you know, it's still like, you know, it's something. What were you gonna say, man?
I will say, like, yeah, I'm going to backtrack too. Like, I do think like, I do think like if people see something that's wrong in our culture or a problem that's running rampant, like an injustice, yeah, you do want to like speak up to that. So like, I think that's fair. Like, because like some men do need to be called out, and I won't lie about that. Like especially like the Hollywood culture, like many men might like abuse their authority or like the role they have to like mistreat women or like kind of sexualize women a bit. And yeah, like Hollywood culture would need to be called out for that. So I don't want to deny like her experience as well, because she could be calling out that men need to step up, as I said before. Again, the problem I have, at least, or we have, is like it just generalizes all men, which I don't like. But I can appreciate that maybe like if this is what she sees, like men do need to like be like one, yeah, maybe men do need to like reflect on their lives and not run through women as they do. On the other side though, like women, come on, don't like don't let the men do this either. Like you have more power than you think you do as well. Like
Right.
just because men might be running through several women, it is a two-way street though as well. Like I don't think we should like and I guess this is like hard to say for today's culture, because in today's culture you kind of have to see like if you're compatible in bed in the bedroom and stuff like that, which I before marriage, or to see if someone's right, which I don't agree with, but that's a whole nother topic that we're not getting into tonight. But like it's like yeah, I do think like women like definitely protect yourselves from that too though as well. Like you have like command the respect that you deserve. Like hold on to like the power that you have as well. Like not to the point of like being manipulative like Sean is saying, but there's a good balance of like don't let the men like run through it. At the same time, men, come on, like be the man that the women deserve as well. Like this is an ongoing, like once you're married, like that's an ongoing battle to be the man that your woman deserves. Like if Taraji does see this in men, again, like I hate that she generalizes all men, but like if she sees that's something that's needs to be addressed, maybe that's something we need to like reflect about as well. So again, I feel like it's a two-way street. Like women don't like give that power to men. Men, come on, be better than that. Like don't like I do feel like that is a culture, and like men is like how many women, like I don't know, the more women we bed, the like the I don't know, the cooler we are. I actually don't know.
Dude, so much slang.
I
Oh
don't hang
my
out with
gosh.
average. I don't hang out with average men. I guess I hang out with like the men who go through McDonald's with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't know what the average does, but like, yeah, I do think there's I do think our culture is starving for men to figure out what's a godly man that God wants us to be. So I will give it to her that yeah, like call out people who might need it, but don't generalize us, man. Like, yeah, as you said, if you met Sean and me, like, you wouldn't be thinking like, oh, here's definitely two guys who like ran through him in it, because yeah, that's like, um, yeah, that's definitely not true.
Right. I'm the face of the 40-year-old virgin movie. Like literally, like that's me. Like don't say I've been ran through, man. Like I was so offended. Like, and that's another thing too. Like we gotta be careful with what we say. And this goes for even with me and Justin. Like your words are so powerful and you don't even know it. So I'm gonna use a few scripture verses. Like I've been talking about on my YouTube channel a lot, just the book of Proverbs. So that's another playlist on my YouTube channel. Me and
Mm,
Justin have done a lot of videos on the book of Proverbs. And so all you need to know about the book of Proverbs, like every verse is a proverb.
mm,
So every proverb is a general statement about life, a general observation about life regarding the way life works, to show you what is show you a lesson or observation that needs to be applied to your life, because it's a general statement about how the world works. That's literally what a proverb is. It's God's wisdom that needs to be applied, right? So here goes where Taraji B. Henson messed up, but not only her, even all of us. I'm gonna ask everybody a question.
mm,
How have you been generalized? In what way have you been generalizing
mm,
people or situations or organization, whatever? Like, what way have you been generalizing other
mm,
people or something, right? So I'm gonna ask it again, way prettier. That's just off my dome, right? So like Proverbs 18:7. So I got a lot of Proverbs to read. It says, "The mouth of fools are their undoing. Their own mouths are their own doing,
mm,
and their lips are a snare to their very lives." This is the power of the mouth. Like your mouth has power, right? So when a bitter woman says all men are the same, mm,
mm,
that's your fate, right? Like you just set yourself up for failure right there, right? So a bitter woman says all men are the same. A wise woman decides to stop choosing the same type of men. That's literally what you're doing. So for you to say all men are the same, that means you're dating the same type of men. Like
mm.
change it up,
Oh,
right?
that's true.
So what's that saying? Like old dogs don't do new tricks. It's something like that. Like you,
No dog can't learn new
I
tricks.
don't want that one. It's like basically if you want new results, you gotta change your ways. Like you can't do the same thing all the time and expect different results,
What's
right?
like what about insanity? Like insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Right. And like I'm pretty sure like most of the men that she's been with, and then what's sad is she's 53, or something like that. She's
Oh,
older. You know what I'm
dang.
saying? So like just to make a general statement like that, oh, like that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not good. It'd be different if an 18-year-old said that. But this is like somebody that's close to 100. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like you lived. Like, why are you saying crazy stuff like this? Like, so like here goes another quote I got. I want you guys to see this one. It says, "Don't allow your negative experiences to create generalizations that cause you to miss out on a blessing." I'm gonna read it again. Don't allow negative experiences to create generalizations. So just like Taraji B. Henson made, that caused you to miss out on a blessing. Like there's so many great men in the world, and there's so many great women in the world. If
Mm,
you allow one negative, bad experience
mm,
to miss out and it costs you to give yourself a life sentence to that negativity, like you commit yourself to the past. You condemn yourself to the past to where you can't even see anybody else new in the future. That is sad. Me and Justin did a video on that. Like literally, like for one of my sermons I do for board examiners in the ME church, right? I preached on Romans 8:1. This video right here. I'll make sure to put it in the description. But like, yeah, it says the title was Let It Go and Pick Up What Jesus Died on the Cross for You for. And that goes with what I was saying. Like every single day you get a choice. You can choose life or blessings, blessings or curses. Like you get a choice every single day. So what are you going to choose? So now is the day of salvation. Now is the day of the Lord. Now is the day of blessing for you. Now is the day for new experiences for you. Now is the day for breakthroughs for you. Now is the day for you to meet your man, meet your woman. Like, but you have to open for that blessing. You got to open your heart, open your soul, open your mind. Everything got to be open for you to
mm,
receive it. You can't have a closed fist and receive a gift. You have to let it go. You got to let go of the past. You got to let go of the bad experience. You got to let go of the hurt. You got to let it go. Then you can receive whatever God got for you. See, therefore, there is now, right now, no condemnation. But some of you guys are condemning yourself right now to the past. You're condemning yourself to a bad experience, just like Taraji B. Henson. She said all American men have been ran through. See, you don't condemn yourself to only experiencing that. That is sad. That's what you want. You
mm.
said that's not what you want, but that's what you just said. So if you don't want something, don't say it. Right? That's the power of the mouth, man. So one thing I was gonna say too, when you say men are trash, you're actually you're acting really foolishly. I want to call you a fool, but that's what the Bible does, right? Because your taste in men is trash. That's literally what it's just a reflection. It's just saying it's pointing back at you. That's what Matthew 7:1 said. It said, do not judge. That's what Jesus said on the Sermon on the Mount. He said, do not judge, right? For the same measure you judge others will come back on you. So you're pointing at somebody else saying there's a flaw, but there's a log and a speck in your own eye. That's always what happens when you judge somebody. It's literally you're trying to say what somebody else need to work on, when really the buck starts with you. It's really you need the most work. And it's literally what you're judging on somebody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? It could even be worse. And in this case, it's probably worse. You know, yeah, all men are trash, but not all men are for you. Not all American men are for you. And that's why they're all trash. Because if one man's trash is another man's treasure. Right? So like your treasure is out there, but you gotta look for it, right? You gotta be willing to receive it. So
Mm,
your taste in men is trash. Don't generalize the male population.
mm,
There's good guys out there. You just have bad taste. You have to change your taste, not
mm,
just in men, but your taste in just what God is doing in the atmosphere. Your taste in just your thought process. Like, you know
mm,
what I'm saying? Like, your taste in what you were expecting, right? You got to anticipate certain things. Man, you receive what you expect, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, Justin, stop me if you want to go, because like I
yeah.
want to release
I
product.
just want to say something real fast, just because you're on the topic. It's like, yeah, don't settle for like the men that are trash as well, because like there are a lot of men that are trash. I won't deny that.
Right.
But it's like, don't settle for that. Like I do think we have to like work hard in relationships to like make them work, or to like find the right guy, or to find the right people, because like a lot of times, sometimes we're like everyone's looking for love, and like that's detrimental sometimes, because you might settle with somebody and then your viewpoint is like, oh well, this is just like it's toxic, and it like you settle with someone who is like not meant for you, or settle with someone who has been ran through, or like settle with somebody who just doesn't mesh with you. And like you do have to put in the effort to like find the right person that meshes with you, or put in the effort to make a relationship work. It's not just going to work right.
Mhm.
And like as soon as and we've talked about this before, like there's differences between being content and complacent. Yeah, you need to be content with what you have, but don't be complacent with things that are detrimental to your love life or detrimental to your relationships.
Or your psyche, like, because a bad experience can ruin everything. Hurt people hurt people. Like, she's literally talking from a hurt place. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was gonna talk about actually.
Mhm.
Like one of the
I'm
quotes
glad
that
you
I sent you.
mentioned that. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that too. Yeah, it's good that we kind of address like this is probably like it's very easy to generalize her statement too. Like say, oh, that's just like that's such a woman thing to say or a feminist thing to say. It'd be very easy to generalize what she says, but yeah, it is good to like recognize that this probably came from a place of hurt.
Yeah. And maybe she's still like she just experienced the hurt, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like,
fresh. Yeah.
yeah, and like maybe that's all she's been experiencing. So like, and that's what I think, you know what I'm saying? So like, because it's such a general statement.
Which I
And that,
guess makes it more sad now.
what you
Like
say?
it almost makes it more sad now. Like uh, the first time I look at it, I won't be offended. But yeah, if you like dig into it, like it could be very like almost pitiable for her as well.
Yeah, man. Like one quote I was gonna say to you guys is I want to show you guys, but there's too many quotes on the screen, so I can't share it. But like I asked Justin about this one, but this one kind of made sense. So it says we stroke irrational fear and feel a tribal mentality where it is us versus them. We forget that the people we generalize are just as human as we are. So like when she's made that statement, all American men have been ran through. Like she's talking from a hurt place, and
Mm,
hurt people, right? So
mm,
like she's only hurting other people because she's been hurt, and that's what
mm,
people gotta understand. Like people just don't do nothing for nothing. Like just they don't just do something for nothing. There's always a reason behind it. So like these people that are doing mass shootings, no, there's some hurt, a lot of scars behind why they do something. So it's not no why does it keep on happening. No, what happened to them to get them to shoot up stuff like that, and what can we do better? See, we're not willing to do the work when it comes to stuff like that. We just expect people to just, you know, do what I would do or just
mm.
do right, right? Even though you keep on doing them wrong, you don't expect them to, fight back, fight back. Like it's kind of like Joker said at the very end of his movie before he shot the host. Like,
Oh, that's a weird movie to be getting advice from, but yeah.
right? It's kind of like what he said though. But yeah, man. Like, I want to say this one. I didn't understand this one at all. It's the one I texted you, Justin. It said absolutism and generalization are often used as tools of oppression. If
Mm,
you're fighting oppression by using these tools, I encourage you to reflect on that. Denying or dismissing the varied lived, lived experiences of individual people of any group is still oppressive,
mm,
right? So, like, I mean, you don't want nobody to oppress you. You don't want anybody to treat you lesser than,
yeah.
right? You don't want anybody to make, assumptions about you, right? And always label you as something when you're not that. You're not like anybody else. But when you do it, and then that's another thing too, like hurt people hurt people. So like you're experiencing a hurt constantly, right? Because of your mouth, right? Because of your thought process. Like this is how powerful it is. Like I'm gonna go ahead and say the verses, man, because it just goes with this video like crazy. Like I should have started out the video with these verses. So I told y'all about a proverb, guys. I said what a proverb was, a general statement that's true regarding the way life works, regarding the way things happen in the world. An observation that's made so that we can draw lessons from those observations, right? So this verse is so powerful, right? It's Proverbs 18:21. It says, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. I know without a shadow of a doubt, just from how she said what she said, all American men have been ran through. Bro, you should have seen all three of them. They were all like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. What? They loved that
Uh,
quote. They
that,
loved when she said that, Justin.
that makes me pretty sad.
They're like even Mary J. Blige. What did she say? I don't want to say exactly what she said. I don't want not want to put no words in my mouth. If you guys saw the interview, Mary J. Blige after Taraji B. Henson said all American men have been ran through. Mary J. Blige says straight up and down, there's a shortage. At least she said there's a shortage. At least she said there's a remnant. That was key.
I that I like that.
Yeah.
There,
Uh,
yeah. If you say there's like a remnant, I actually do like that.
yeah, and that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Like, and that's for anybody though. Like, I don't care if you're Christian or not Christian. Like, not everybody's for you. Like, you can want everybody in the world. You can want all the men and all the women in the world. But like, some people are just oil and water. It just doesn't go together. Like, not
Mm.
everybody's meant to be, in union with each other. And that could be in any type of relationship. Like, it could be manager and coworker. It could be, brother or sister. Like, it does not matter. Some people are just not compatible, right? So, like, yeah, like, okay, what was I saying? Justin, I'll let you talk, man. I'm talking forever, man. But
No, you're good. Yeah, I guess I'll go on like that remnant part. I do like, yeah. I I'll go to like how everyone was kind of agreeing with her as well, because like this is speaking more towards false quotes than this specific false quote. But it's like, I think when people are hurt, like they are always very hungry for spiritual stuff. Like that's how God made us. Like he made us hungry for spiritual stuff,
right,
which is good unless you're like looking at the wrong source or looking in the wrong places. So it's very easy to like hear something hear something that resonates with you. It can resonate with a wound. It can resonate with a hurt heart. And it can be completely bat crap crazy. But like if it resonates with you, like you won't care like where it came from. Like you might base your life on that. And I was listening to a medical podcast of like the rampant the rampant spread of medical knowledge, which is kind of good in certain contexts, but they were looking at TikToks and they were saying like a majority of them are just like false information. They're saying like, oh, this changed my life, or oh, if you like do this diet or this health hack, like your life will change. And like some medical professionals were going through these and say, oh, these are like false. But like the TikTokers and influencers know just the way to connect with people, that they can say anything and it just like connects with them. And I think that's very easy as well with people who have been hurt. So we do need to be careful about the information that we eat up, because like we want to eat up a lot. Like we can say, oh, I'm not a spiritual person. You can say that, but that doesn't change the fact that you might be searching for purpose or searching for like answers in life. And like those people that were with Taraji as well, like they might have been hurt as well. So when they heard that thing about American men, they're like, yeah, that's what I experienced with my life too. Like that's got to be true. And like
yeah,
that's sad. Like the more we talk about this, the less offended I get and the more sad I feel for the women who think that's true, for the women who
mm,
generalize that. I do agree with that statement that good men are kind of a remnant, because yeah, that's kind of true. That's been purported by our in American culture. Like I'm not generalizing Americans. I'm just saying like that is what American culture might support or push forward with. So it's like we do need to be careful about like, is this a truth? Is this a nugget of wisdom, or is this just something that my hurt heart is like just feeding off of. So we do have to be very careful when it comes to that, because like we are we are in an age where like we have a plethora of information, of like news that's just going, that's like constantly streaming. Like we do
Yeah.
have to like filter it. We do have to like test it in real life. We do have to like see if this is actually good for the long run, because some advice can be good for like the short run, like the very short run, but it's not something you want to base your life on. And we do need to like, there's a verse, I think it's Acts 17:11 or something. It was like, now the Berean Jews were of more noble character than the Thessalonians, for they read the scripture every day to see if what Paul said was true. Like the Berean Jews were not naive. They didn't just like eat up whatever Paul said, but they did have an open mind. They chose life so that they could be open and receptive to like new advice, like new things. But they also tested it out to see like, is this useful for my life? Is this like useful? Like, is this like actually beneficial for my life? So I think there's a good balance of like, don't be naive, like test stuff out, but also be open to like good advice, and make sure you're not just accepting it because like you're hurt inside.
Yeah. Man, that's some good stuff, man. Like that's actually a good way to close the video. Like I got way more to say, but I could just close it with this. Like, and then you can say what you want to say after
Mm,
this. We don't have to end it. But like, I want to say too, you're not stupid. You're not naive for generalizing
mm,
at all. Like, you're just being human.
mm,
And like when you're hurt, it's really hard not to generalize. Like whoever hurt you. Like for example, for the ME
mm.
church, like so many people have been hurt through board examiners. Like when it comes to, you say you want to be a preacher, you want to enter the ministry, right? And because like the ME church has been so great, right, overall. But then when you enter the ministry, you see just how the people in leadership, like the actual pastors, the head honchos, like that you looked up to, that you thought you could trust, like these people hurt you. Then it just changes your whole perspective. And then like I asked everybody, in what ways do you generalize? That's what I was trying to ask. In what ways do you generalize? Because we do it. We're all human. So like I'll just start with me. Like for me, I generalize Asians and say all Asians look alike. Like, but that's not true. It's just
That's,
I haven't.
that's a little true. Asian, a little true.
but like again, like I'm pretty sure if I lived in China and if I lived in
Mhm.
Japan or if I
Yeah.
lived anywhere where Asia is, like then or where Asians are, then like I wouldn't say that. Like I could see the
Mm,
differences. I would know like that culture. You know what I'm saying? Like because I see it.
mm,
But like because I'm not, I just don't see it. And I already know, like, I used to hear like white people say, all black people look the same. Well, we know that's not true because some people fat, some people ugly, some people look good. Like, that's just not true. Like, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with white people, like, so we can't ever make like a general statement like that because you know, there's always somebody to prove it wrong, right? If you got enough knowledge. So basically, we're always uneducated or have limited knowledge about something. So we can never act like we know every single person like about a general statement that we're making, right? So same thing like with AME church leadership. Like you watch our videos on YouTube, I do like come for the AME church leadership a lot. So like, but I don't know all the leadership. I have not been to every single district in the AME church, which is like 21 districts or something, 23 in the whole entire world. So like, I haven't seen it. So I just don't. I can never make a very accurate general statement about the leadership, which is what I have been doing, making a general statement. So like we always do it, but the whole problem. What's the solution? The solution is, what do you do once once you realize you've been generalizing? What do you do?
mm.
I'm gonna read it like I said. What do you do once you recognize your generalizations? Because there has to be a solution. You have to apply something so you can stop doing it. Same thing for her. Like your reality is not going to change unless you do something to change it,
Mm.
right? So what can we do to avoid generalizing? So those are powerful questions, right? So Justin, I'll let you think about it, man. I'm gonna give some answers.
Yeah.
So what can we do to avoid generalizing? The answer is simple but not easy. One answer is learn your biases. Learn what your biases are. Challenge your stereotypes you hold on to. Listen and learn, right? That's the third one. Fourth one is think of each person as an individual, not as a member of this or that group. Fifth one is accept that you make human mistakes, but be determined to grow from them. And that goes with Taraji, man. Like, I don't know her life like she knows it, but I know like that's for her to make a general statement like that. Like, I do feel bad for her
Yeah.
because I'm not in the same situation you're not either. Like, it's kind of like what Jesus said. You know what I mean? You get what you put out there, right? So if you put out good in the world, good gonna come back to you.
Mm.
You put out bad in the world, bad's gonna come back on you, right? And so like, and honestly, I don't know her soul, I don't know her heart, but I can only talk for like there's some believers and Christians that are going through the same thing that she's going through. But I will say, like, some of the promises of God is like if you truly love the Lord and you truly, dedicate your life to Him, He promises you certain things. So, like, for me, I know Justin would attest to this too, and for me too. Like, for me, He promised me a woman. Like, my life will be incomplete with yeah, no, it would be. That's it would be incomplete without a woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it just doesn't mesh well with Sean. Like, I can't function without Maya,
Mm.
right? It has to be Maya. Like, it has to be somebody that's a moon to my sun because I am the sun, right? I'm the daylight. Like, so it has to be somebody that compliments me, that and they mesh well. And that's literally what God promised in Genesis 2 chapter, yeah, in Genesis chapter 2 verse 18. It says, it's not good for a man to be alone. I'm gonna make him a suitable, complementary, perfect fit helper for him. Like, it in every translation, it says something like that. Somebody that's suitable, somebody that complements him, somebody that's compatible with him. Like, every translation takes a different word and says, basically that the wife's a perfect fit. Like, the wife has a rib. Like, when God took made woman, He took a rib from Adam. So women have an extra rib, right, Justin?
Yeah.
Than men.
That's right.
So like, yeah. So like for me, I needed a woman to give me back my rib, like, so I can have what was missing in my life to fit back in my life, right? So like, so yeah, like, accept that you make mistakes, but be determined to grow from them. I forgot what I was saying, but yeah, everybody's different.
Mm.
With Taraji B. Henson, man, like all we could do is like pray for her because like it's kind of like she's kind of choosing that. But let me before I say anything else, I want to finish saying this. So what can we do to avoid generalizing? Another thing you could do is you are capable of changing the way you think. It's okay to change your mind, to grow, not have the same opinions. Like, you don't have to you don't have to always have the same opinions, right? So the first step to make a decision, the first step is to make a decision to change, right? And then knowledge is power. So like I'm pretty sure if Taraji B. Henson met every single American that there is in the world, she would not have made that statement.
Mm.
There's some off the chain dudes out here, and I'm talking to one right now. You know what I'm saying? And I am one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't never. And then I would even make another statement, like, because I know Justin, I know me. Like, you're not gonna ever meet another man like me and him. You know what I'm saying? So like, we're totally different than what you would get from men. Do we have some of the same qualities? Yeah, sure, because we're men. But
Yeah.
like we operate differently, got different goals, different ambitions, all those things. So people that generalize on what somebody is rather than actually seeing who they are will never gain knowledge. And this is how some people operate. And it could be just for like, a white person who's racist that wants nothing to do with black people. See, it's the same thing. Because you want to, generalize, you'll never receive the blessing of what it's like, right? To actually be one with people, right? So limit generalizations and seek to learn more about others who are different from you. Right?
Mm.
It's about understanding, working together. Like, a lot of women who are single, and this is a general statement, but it's accurate. So that's another thing too. Like even with generalized, there was a quote I was gonna say all the generalization quotes I found, and one of them was like, in general, generalizations is generalization is to lie, to tell lies, right? The second one was all generalizations are false, including this one, right? So a lot of times when you make a generalization, no matter how the cookie crumbles, like it's always gonna be like a little. You could. It's always a gray area,
Little false, yeah.
right? Yeah. So like it's never gonna be 100%, unless it's like a general statement like this. Like a good generalization is saying all men are human. Like yeah, all men are human. Like that's a good general statement. A bad one would be all men are pigs. What? Like and that's how some people operate, man, like with labels. And labels stick. And then if you think that somebody's labeled like that, that's what you're gonna get. That's what you're gonna be serviced back, like a food item. You gotta take off the labels. Labels don't belong on people. It belong on objects, on food stuff, and Kroger and stuff. It don't belong on people. And that's what everybody try to do in society, try to label people, put labels on them, like they're, a product or something. Bro, every man's different. And then even with me, some people, Justin even said it. That was great that you said that earlier, man. You said basically some people try to label me, like and the Emmy Church does that too, actually. Like they know I want to be a pastor, so the question they always ask me, and eventually I'm going to explode because they're going to keep on doing it for 6 years. Six years, they're going to keep on doing it. They keep on asking me, Justin, like, you say you want to do evangelism, but you want to pastor too? Why pastor? Why you want to be a preacher? What? You can do both. Like, what are you talking about? It's both. Like, like, what kind of question is? Ask me something else. That's stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they try to label me like, okay, well, you're gonna be an itinerant pastor, so that means pastor in a church, be a preacher for the ME church. Like, they want to put that label on me, and that's it. That's not it. I'm not y'all. Like, that's not my ministry. And that's what they've been trying. That's what they try to do with everybody, actually. They try to put that label on everybody who said they want to come into ministry. When they're called to do something else, they even say that they're called to do something else, but they don't listen. They say, no, they keep on trying to put this label on you. A pastor, pastor, pastor. They don't never let you, they're not flexible. And in this life, we have to be flexible when it comes to people in order to get the blessings that we are expecting. Just I'll let you go, man, because I'm talking forever, man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna say too much because I feel like I said my big hitters already. But like, yeah, just wrapping up, like definitely something that helps you keep from generalizing or to recognize if you've been generalizing that's helped me is like reflect because like hindsight's always 2020. Just like reflect on your reactions with people. Like um think back on it and think like, man, was this a reasonable response? Was I upset at this time? Did I generalize this person into a group? Like, how does this have an effect on me? Like, I feel like that's the best advice I can give right now is just be able to reflect on it for like two reasons. Like one, it's of course like it helps you realize if you generalize or not. But two, it also can kind of help prevent you from expanding your wounded heart. Like when we're wounded, like that can spread so easily into like how we think, how we feel, how we view or interpret people. But if we reflect, if we capture that seed of thought before it has time to grow, like it does help us to prevent our hurt from spreading onto other people. So that's the best advice I can give because like generalizations really is a form of prejudice. It puts people in a box, it groups all people together. It basically limits limits the people around you by like what they look like or what they do. And like that's the same box as like sexism and racism and all that.
Right.
So it's like that's yeah, I don't have much more to say about that but just like reflect on it. Try to be unbiased. Like it's super hard to be unbiased and that's fair. It's a process, but that's why we need to start with somewhere by just like reflecting, hindsight 2020. Like why did I respond this way and why did how what this person did made me feel this way.
Right. Yeah. So just in case you just now tuning in, guys, like, we're about to end this video. We were doing a video on what Taraji B. Henson said, around in March in an interview on Mary J. Blige's talk show. It's called The Wind Down, I think, from my head. Uh, she said that, all American men have been ran through. So she's done with all American men. And so I want to end off with these proverbs. I want you guys to see this too, because like they're so powerful. I just don't want the video to end without this. It says, whosoever, Proverbs 21:23 says, whosoever keepeth his mouth and his tongue, keepeth his soul from troubles. So like this is the power of the tongue. Your mouth has life and death in it. So like, and nobody's exempt from this. Like we literally talked about how everybody generalized in some kind of way. Like, so how have you been generalizing? Because if you don't stop, you're only dooming your soul to more trouble. Like, in all these snares that can be avoided if you just have a little faith, basically. If you just like if you just shut your mouth. If you have nothing, my mom always taught me, if you have nothing nice to say, just don't say anything. That's literally like one of the first lessons my mom told me. Because I used to literally, nobody could understand me as a baby, Justin. Like nobody could understand me until I was like 5. Like, because I take speeching classes or whatever.
Really? Okay.
Speech therapy. Like, only person who could understand me was my older brother and my mom. So like people would come to me at church when I was 4, 3, 5 and be like, hi, how you doing? Like everybody thought I was so cute. And so I always be like, why do you stink? What's that smell? Like, like why does your hair look all crazy? I always say that. And they were like, what did he say? Like, they always want to know what I said. My mom be like, he ain't saying nothing. But she knew what I said. And so yeah, man, I want you guys to see this. I want to end on the best proverb that I think. So Proverbs 13:3 says, those who guard their lips preserve their lives, but those who speak rashly will come to ruin. And
powerful.
Right. And I think she's been experiencing ruin, man. Like you can't tell. You could tell. Like if she was married to somebody for 80 years, okay, obviously. I mean, you would still, it's inevitable. Like relationships, no relationship's perfect, guys. Nobody's saying that, right? You're going to go through crap with everybody you're going to be with, even with the perfect person, because that's life, right? But, I mean, I would rather be with somebody going through it than to like be going through divorces and be with like 8 different people, right?
Yeah.
That's my worst nightmare. I can't do that. Like, so so like she's been going through ruin, like at least in my view, like because I don't want to experience what she's experienced, right? I would rather be with one person, go through everything in life with one person, than to be with 20. So that's ruin for me. So I think she's been experiencing ruin. So my last verse I was going to say is Matthew 12:37. This one's good, guys. I want to do the video on this one, so I'll probably have to do another one. But Matthew 12:37 says, for by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned. So you get 2 choices with the words coming out of your mouth. You can be acquitted, which acquitted just means, set free. Oh man, I took a screenshot. I meant to put the definition. Did I really delete it? Whatever, man. Yeah, I want to say what acquitted means, Justin. Like I had a perfect visual of it, but so acquitted means to be absolved, clear yourself, release. So what I was basically trying to say is like another word for the definition for acquitted says conduct oneself or perform in a specific way. So many people like you haven't been acquitted of your past. You giving yourself a life sentence to all your bad experiences with men or with women. And so you haven't absolved yourself and cleared yourself or freed yourself from the past. And the past is over with. Like just going back to Romans 8:1, therefore now is the day of salvation. I mean, therefore now what's the verse? Therefore there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus, right? That's the verse.
Yeah.
So therefore right now, like you're free right now in Christ Jesus. Every single day, you're free and you're free indeed. And that's something that Jesus promised you'll have life and life more abundantly, and you'll be free indeed. He said that. Like, so man, you don't have to conduct yourself to perform in your past anymore. Like, all men are dogs. You don't have to experience that no more, right?
Mm.
You can be acquitted of that. But so many people are choosing condemnation, right? So condemnation just means to be hostage towards something, to be sentenced toward a life sentence towards something,
Mm.
right? Jesus died for that. But some of you guys, that's how you know if he's really Lord of your life. Like, have you freed? Do you realize you're free and you're not shackled to something anymore? And you can just walk away and
Mm.
have a different life, a different experience. And that's
Mm.
in every area of life, including your love life. Right? So yeah, like with her statement of, all Americans have been ran through, man. Like, yeah. Like, I acquit you of that, I set you free from that statement. So the
Yeah.
question is for her, like, do you set yourself free from that statement?
Mm.
Right? Are you or are you gonna condemn yourself to that reality all your life? I mean, you don't got much longer to live. Like, dang, how much longer are you gonna, stay in that place? You can experience something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm not calling her old or anything, but she's older than me. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got, Justin. I mean, I got a lot more, but I'm good for this video.
Yeah. I think I said. Yeah. I think I said my heavy hitter, so I think I'm good.
All right, well, that's the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So, like I said, man, this is a new series when I just take what people say and we're gonna say what God would say about it, or it's a false quote, right? That's the series. So the playlist is called False Quotes on my YouTube channel, Uplift Past Crossroads. So if you want to see way more videos that me and Justin do on false quotes that people say, just go to my YouTube channel, Uplift Past Crossroads, and you'll see that. Yeah, and we just did a video on what TARAJI B. Henson said, back in, what was the date? March 1st of this year, March 1st. And also make sure to go to Justin's YouTube channel. Let me pull it up, Justin. My bad.
No, you're good. Sorry about that.
And sometimes I don't have it up. Man, normally I have it up, but
Yeah,
sometimes
you do. There you go.
right. Here goes Justin's YouTube channel, Chaplain's Log. So when you go to our YouTube channels, make sure to subscribe. Click the bell so that's turning on the post notification so you're notified anytime we upload another video. And then watch every video that we have. Please like and comment and share every single video. And for the people who watch, thanks for the comments today. Your comments rocked. And then make sure to go to Justin's Facebook page. Let me get rid of that just in case some weird stuff shows. Oh, it's just my profile. Never mind. I don't know what my friends will be posting, man. Well, I won't even call them friends. The people who are on my Facebook, right? All right, so here goes Justin's Facebook page, Justin Lee Howell. Mine's Sean Christopher Jenkins. So if you go to our Facebook pages, you can befriend us, send us a DM if you got any questions. We'll do a video on the questions that you have. Hey, you got Proverbs 17:22 right here, man. I'm just realizing that. You gotta do that verse. And then guys, here goes all my social media pages. All right, so we'll talk to you guys later. We'll probably do another video. I don't know. But happy Thanksgiving. God bless you all. Have a great rest of your week.